Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be going over 5 lane combos that are broken right now. These are going to be dual lanes you can play in the side lanes. Specifically going to be going over dual lanes today, no tri lanes in this video in specific, but I want to go over the meta. So I'm also going to kind of talk about like what is strong right now, not specifically just the lane combos, even though that's the primary focus of the video, and let's get into it. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the gameleap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually, you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the gameleap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below, I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. Alright, getting into the first combo of the game. Honestly, this is the most general one, or the most broad one, out of every single one, but I do want to start with it because I think it is honestly quite busted. And that is MARCI plus a ranged hero. Now, to be fair, MARCI plus a lot of melee heroes is pretty broken as well. For instance, MARCI Centaur, MARCI Slardar, MARCI Legion. All of these lanes are very good. For the most part, how I would say MARCI interacts in the laning stage is if you have a strong laner, which is what you generally should pick with MARCI. I think you should double down on the lanes. If you have a MARCI on your team first picks MARCI. The most common picks that I think are generally broken are Viper and Razor. MARCI Viper and MARCI Razor are, you cannot play the game. You cannot play the game. It's as simple as that. And here's why. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can already think about why, but basically MARCI's Q, her dispose, chucks you into the creep wave. When you get chucked into the creep wave in Dota, you really cannot man up because you take too much damage. And for heroes like Viper and Razor, one of the downsides of these heroes is if they have to chase, which often they do, right? Think about it, it's Razor and Viper, they have to chase. If that happens, they take a lot of damage while chasing because they're slow ranged heroes that get owned in the creep wave. But MARCI throws the enemy behind the wave, so not only do they get to hit you more, they also don't have to run into the wave. So basically the trades are always significantly more favorable, and on top of that, one of the biggest downsides, as I mentioned with Razor and Viper early game, is actually their early movement speed. Viper in particular is a very slow hero. However, if MARCI uses Rebound on you, you get 40% movement speed. Like, it's what kind of number is that? Why do you go so fast? You go like nearly haste in the laning stage. And as a hero like Viper, if you ever get in a state of advantage, it's GG. Someone's dying. Like literally, someone is dead. Someone's dying because you're in the wave and you can't go on the Viper because if you try to, he's gonna kite you with his 450 movement speed after being rebounded on. All right, getting into the second combo of the video. This is probably my favorite one. I think it's most unique. And that is DAZZLE and PUDGE. It's a really cool combo. It's not anything necessarily too special. I actually just think PUDGE is quite a good laner right now. The biggest downside of this hero though is its early levels. PUDGE, he takes a little bit to come online. I don't think this hero is good at level 1. It's mediocre at best at level 2. It gets better at level 3 because at level 3 you're either 1-1-1 or you're 0-1-2 in my opinion, or 0-2-1 in my opinion, with 2 points raw, 1 in Flesh Heap. I think you should basically always have Flesh Heap at level 2 or at level 3. The point being, PUDGE is not that good early on, and he has a little bit of sustain issues because he has a low movement speed, low armor hero, so he's not that great early on. DAZZLE makes up for this, and for pretty clear reasons. DAZZLE's a very good laner in the early levels. Number one, Heal Bomb is incredibly good if the enemy overextends and tries to go on your PUDGE, which often they will because he's pretty weak at level 1. The Heal Bomb in the creep wave is extremely powerful. On top of that, if they overextend trying to kill the PUDGE, Poison Touch is also very good in these cases. But the bigger thing is honestly the kill potential of this combo is just incredible. While you don't have a stun, and so certain lanes can easily disengage, you should be careful about those lanes. In a lot of lanes, if the hero does not have a good way to disengage, one Poison Touch and then a Rot is enough to get them down. Right, and the thing about PUDGE is he does so much damage, like an unbelievable amount of damage. So all you really need to make sure this damage keeps going is a little bit of sustain, which DAZZLE provides. And honestly, Grave, which generally you're going to take at level 4 on DAZZLE, is really great as well. Because PUDGE, naturally being the crazy frontliner that he is, wants to run in, wants to tank the gank, get gone on, and go from there. And yeah, I honestly think Dazzle is one of the most underrated heroes in Dota right now. I'm a little bit surprised to be saying that, but every time I've seen it in the pro scene or in my pubs as of late, it's doing a ton. And really the main reason why that seems to be the case, at least to me, outside of its good laning stage, which Dazzle has had for a while now, is Shallow Grave amping heal. It's crazy. The amount of heal you can get off after you grave someone is nuts. And Dazzle has 2 heals, which I didn't really realize for a bit. The ulti heals now, if you click it, like if you... It's such a bizarre spell, but basically you can heal, you can even go Mana Boots Mech on Dazzle. I used to despise this build when I saw people do it. I do not think you should buy Guardian Greaves, just to make that clear. I think maybe going Holy Locket is fine, like Mana Boots Mech into Holy Locket. But there's a lot of potential with this hero and just the healing with the heal amplification from Grave. It's really a crazy concept. If you haven't looked into it, it's insanely good. And for a hero like Pudge, it works very well because he's just such a clear frontliner who's gonna get gone on and want to be saved. Next up is Clock Visage. Very meta combo. You can also replace Visage with like Lycan and Beastmaster, but realistically, I think Clock Visage is the best, and the main reason why is, number one, these heroes complement each other very well in the mid game, right? Visage, not an initiator, but high DPS. Clock, initiator, but falls off in terms of DPS as the game progresses, so they really just complement each other in that regard. On top of that, really what I've seen from Clock Visage is basically that these cogs, this cog ability is incredibly good with Visage, because what you can do is you can actually skill it at level 1. In fact, I played against TSM actually not too long ago in the DPC, and this is what they did. They skilled cogs, and basically the Clock just played a very defensive game. He could pull the creep wave back by cogging it. That's still something you can do, even though it's not as good as it used to be, as cog used to be I think it was an 8-second duration at level 1. I think it's 5 now. So it used to be way better, but you can still do it. It's still effective. It's still something. You can still double cog the wave if you want, actually. At level 1, it's quite notable. But then on top of that, you can kind of just zone off creeps. If the enemy is a melee hero and wants to go for the range creep, you can just cog it and deny it. If you want to secure the range creep, you can just cog it and CS it. So it's really cool what you can do with this ability. It's kind of an interesting concept. And then on top of that, Clock is just a very aggressive hero in lane, especially at level 3. This is when this lane really starts to come online, because basically the Clock is going to have 2 points battery assault, going from 20 damage per tick to 45, and the Visage is going to have points in all 3 of his abilities, specifically the Soul Assumption being the big one. I mean, generally you're 1-1-1 at level 3 on Visage. I guess sometimes in certain lanes, if you're dominating, you could go something like 1-2-0, but for the most part, you're going to just be 1-1-1. However, you're going to proc Soul Assumption so much. I'm not going to get into this ability. I just made a full course on Visage over at the gameleap website, so if you want to learn more about that hero, you could go sign up in the description down below. I recommend you check it out. But yeah, this combo, it just makes a lot of sense all throughout the game. Clock enables him in the lane, enables him in the mid game, provides vision, which Visage doesn't really do. It's just a very nice pairing that just makes a ton of sense. Next up is the heaviest kill lane, and I know you might be like, what? Heavier kill lane than MARCI plus range hero? Yeah, MARCI plus range hero, while it's insane, it is pretty crazy. Even MARCI plus Razor or Viper generally will own at level 3. This lane, Dawnbreaker CM, at level 2 is the stupidest lane in the game. Dawnbreaker CM is a lane that I've seen quite a few teams run now, and for good reason. Basically, when you're playing Dota, you want to consider if heroes spike at around the same levels, because if they do, you can often abuse this level. Dawnbreaker and CM are 2 of the strongest level 2 spikes in the game. I would argue both of them literally might be number 1 and number 2. If you want to disagree with me in the comment section down below, I actually can't think of a hero or heroes off the top of my mind that are as good as these heroes at level 1 and level 2. MARCI is up there as well for heroes that are that dominant that early. But man, Dawnbreaker and CM. CM, 2 nukes. It's very simple. 2 nukes, 2 disables. Can I say more? It's like 280 damage, I think, at level 2 on CM with like 5 seconds to disable, if you consider the slow a disable. And then Dawnbreaker has 2 disables as well. Can you believe it? It's like, I mean, you cannot lane. I assure you, I've played against this lane before. Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't even know what you do. It really is that crazy. Like, all you gotta do is just have a little bit of patience, and when you hit level 2, go on them. They'll probably die. I'm not kidding. Just buy a ton of mangoes on CM, feed them to yourself and to your Dawnbreaker. Just be sacrificial if you're playing the CM, And yeah, you're gonna go crazy. Finally, last but not least, is a cool one, but Alch is actually being picked quite a bit now by pro players. Alchemist Wyvern. This lane, I mean, basically Alchemist has been getting picked a lot by pros, and a big trend that we've been seeing is actually an aggression build on Alch. And what's really cool is that most players in the past would always take Acid and Grievel's Greed at level 1 and 2, but you don't have to do that. The most common build now is actually 1-1-1. You have 1 point in each ability at level 3, and Grievel's Greed is sometimes not even skilled till level 3. Now this might seem insane, because it's kind of a lot of mana to cast Concoction and Acid Spray on Alch. It definitely is. But the thing is, if you rush a Soul Ring and a Salve, which could be your first 2 items, no problem, you're actually a lane dominator. And you might be like, oh, this is kind of weird. Shouldn't I just play Alch to get a ton of gold? Well, you're getting it at level 3. It's really not that much of a delay. I mean, you're not getting that much extra gold in 2 creep waves, right? Or maybe not 2 creep waves, 3 or 4 creep waves from Grievel's Greed. It does matter. It is something, right? Obviously, it's not nothing. But the thing is, even if you take it at level 3, you're still going to have it for the bounty runes, so you get a little bit of bonus gold there, and your kill potential is insane. So basically, you want a support that's good at level 1, level 2, right? There's quite a bit of these, but basically the heroes that can keep people in Acid are the best. So Crystal Maiden with Alch can be good. We're using Wyvern as our example here today because I think Wyvern is really nice just in the meta, and it's a hero with a lot of kill potential at level 2. You have a lot of synergy. It's a very clear execution. Alch takes out his Concoction. When you do that, Wyvern should then initiate with Arctic Burn and the Splinter Blast, and when that happens, right, basically it's going to set up for Alch to drop his Acid, keep them in the Acid, and auto-attack them in Acid. Acid, if you didn't know, is a very good ability. It reduces armor by 4, which is a lot, and basically can kill a lot of heroes. On top of that, Wyvern, even though I would almost never recommend this, Wyvern can buy a Blightstone. I almost never recommend it, but it's okay in this lane. It actually does quite a lot. But alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.